Mcnamara's Garden by Jacqueline Peacock of Taormina, 2452. Narrated by Janine Penfold. In the far corner of Mcnamara's garden, beneath an old widowmaker, there stood a wooden bench, worn smooth by time and countless days of dreaming. 17-year-old Jackie sprawled across it as best she could, a half-eaten apple in one hand, a dog-eared notebook in the other. It was difficult to get comfortable. The sugar cubes in her back pocket challenged the space between the slats and her backside. Her feet were clad in the footwear of the day. Thongs. The hum of summer bees filled the air, mingling with the smell of freshly cut grass that clung to everything like a second skin. She looked up through the branches, seeking answers to the many questions ruminating in her young mind, answers that were not forthcoming. The bench was her escape, a bonus if the horses came to visit. And the tree was a constant reminder to stay firmly rooted to her ideas and plans for the future. There was a world waiting for her beyond Mcnamara's paddock, and she wanted a piece of it. Someday she would leave this town, she thought, tapping her pencil to her temple. Someday she would write a book, teach children, plant seeds of learning in their tiny heads. "I will! I know I will!" she said aloud. Behind her, she heard her mother calling, "Jacqueline, stop that daydreaming and come!" she screeched. She knew she was in trouble. When her mother used her full name, it was serious. That was her mother's pissed-off voice. Jackie had a lot of practice getting screeched at, and so did the chooks, the dogs, the birds, and the other 5 kids. Her mother was a screecher, and always cranky. "Righto, I'm coming," Jackie called back, reluctantly folding her notebook and jamming it into the back pocket of her jeans, the one without the sugar cubes. She placed the apple core on the bench for a lucky horse. She felt this town was too small for her, had nothing to offer, and it was time to move on. She hadn't known then that it would be her last summer on Mcnamara's bench, chatting with the sky through those beautiful branches of the old gum. Her jeans would soon be replaced with frilly dresses and perfume, and the thongs would be laid to rest. The bench remained, though the years had weathered it. One arm was missing, and lichen had crept up the legs like a memory claiming its place. Jackie, now just this side of 70, still whole, felt welcome by her little spot. She ran her long, bony fingers along the backrest and slowly sat down. Her knees creaked, and she chuckled softly. Well, at least the bench isn't the only one falling apart. She was grey at the temples, the rest of her hair a thinning salt and pepper. She scuffed her sensible leather shoes back and forth, massaging the silky dry soil, creating a cloud of dust she would wear home. The tree looked smaller somehow, still fixed firmly to the earth, but missing a few branches here and there. She guessed it was thinning too. It still offered dappled light that flickered across her lap like an old film. She had left this place just as she'd said she would. She'd taught the children, planted seeds of learning and possibility, had conversations with those who loved to listen. She wrote a few books, changed a few minds. She'd enjoyed a modest success, married, gave life to 2 wonderful humans, divorced, and became a psychologist. She found a kind of solitude that didn't sting too much, a life well used and productive, she thought. There were still things that tugged at her in quiet moments, for the girl and the small town she'd left behind. Now, back to tidy a few real estate matters, she wandered and remembered. She saw the chooks scratching and squabbling in her mind's eye, the dogs and kids, the mother who screeched at her for her many wrongdoings. The children always appeared to have been washed with dirty hands, never clean. They were all long gone now. She reached into her leather shoulder bag. The Abyss, her daughter called it, and pulled out her iPad, the modern replacement for that dog-eared notebook. She opened a document and read the few words that had kept her company for many years. Don't be afraid of running. Be afraid of staying. The end.